I don't know if that's for you or for
maybe
our city
ask
attorney.
Brent.
Councilmember, I'm going to ask Brent Lloyd, who is the law department's kind of single point of contact in coordinating all of our legal advice on this. He works with all of our outside counsels and the different internal lawyers who deal with the issues on water treatment plant number 4.
Thanks, Brent Lloyd, City Law Department. There's not an immediate connection. I mean, the council will have all the authority you now have with regard to the project. And if the city is confident in its legal position with regard to the lawsuit that's pending, but if the city was required for any reason to stop work on the project, we have provisions in our contracts that allow the city to terminate for convenience, which means the city does not have to show that there's been any malfeasance or improper work on the contractor's part. The city has provisions that have been carefully negotiated and reviewed that give the city the ability, if need be, to terminate work under the contract.
Okay, great.
Okay, so there's a change order. The usual change order rules are going to apply, whether whether we're authorizing you to amend as needed over time or whether we are actually passing on each of those amendments. Right. Okay, nothing's changed as far as that's concerned. Similarly, if we delay the project because we're not inspecting as quickly as they're expecting us to, or we're not issuing permits as quickly as they're expecting us to, they claim that this is delaying the project and slowing them down and costing them money. What happens in that case?
They can submit a delay claim, in which case we have an alternative dispute resolution process under the contract to evaluate those claims and engage in a stepped-up sort of process where we would wind up finally in mediation of a claim like that. And that's a prerequisite before going to court on any kind of claim. We would go through the mediation process as part of alternative dispute resolution.
That's governed by the master agreement again.
Yes.
And again, whether we authorize the staff to amend the contract as necessary or whether we see each of those amendments before they're actually promulgated is not going to change the nature of that grievance procedure.
No, that'll stay the same.
Okay. So realistically, all we're doing is authorizing you to seek exactly the same amendments on your own hook that we would otherwise be seeing. Is that correct?
Yes. We would be authorizing funding to allow those amendments to happen.
Will there be any difference in information provided to the City Council, the Water and Wastewater Commission, the Environmental Board, anybody else with respect to change orders, with respect to grievances? Are you going to, what are your procedures for reporting that sort of thing to the public?
Well, that's not really an internal contract procedure. I defer to Greg Maceras on that question.
You just happen to be in front, Mr. Bowman. Thanks for being there.
No, that would not change our reporting or updates to boards and commissions. And I think we've even committed for additional written reports and updates to the council, including whenever we would negotiate an amendment to the agreement, we would send a memo to council updating them on that process and the outcome of it. So you're actually probably getting more written information than you are now.
I'm persuaded by your monthly report that we'll probably will be getting more information than we have been getting up to this point. I appreciate your preparing that, and I look forward to seeing it every month. If at some point after your first amendment's promulgated, somewhere along the line before the project is completed, if some future council says, you know, this isn't really working for us, we think we actually need to see individual amendments as they go forward, is there a procedure for not canceling the authorization we're giving you exactly, but just pulling back the reins a little bit and saying we need to see this next amendment or two? Is that something we can do?
I think that would be at the will of the council, that we would follow whatever instructions the council voted on for us to do. I don't maybe if Gordon is there. Yeah, I mean, yes, we would do whatever the council instructed us to do.
Okay, so this action that we're taking today is reversible, yeah. And if we choose to decide it's not working, we can take it back.
Yes.